To actually get on 106 in Park, I auditioned for a few years online, and it was just by application. And I wasn't, they weren't letting me on just because I guess my resume wasn't eye catching enough, or they didn't think I had enough support. So last year, I got all my fans to actually retweet at BT just to say, give Charron a shot. He's really good. He's accomplished, and he could bring something to your show that you haven't seen for a while. And they're like, yeah, we'll give him a shot. So I went down to do the auditions. They had Jin there as a judge and everything, and I just smoked everyone in the auditions. Jin actually predicted for me to win. He's like, yo, this guy, he's actually freestyling. This is, something the show hasn't seen for a while. And so including the audition, the regular season, and March Madness, I went down 8 weeks from Canada to New York, which is 13-hour bus ride each time. So 26 hours there and back each time. Yeah, I'm very determined, like any opportunity I have. It's over 200 hours of busing, but to be on the BT Cypher, to, have a chance to break out to America, I thought it was all worth it. Yeah, so what happened with that is when I actually won against Interstate Fats in the finals, Bow Wow announced, he's like, the winner will win, Taco Bell gift cards, the belt, the gloves, $5,000, and a spot on the 2013 BT Cypher, and that's recorded and aired out. And so that was just something we agreed upon, and the past winners all got it from 2008. So it was, something we agreed upon. As soon as I won, I spoke to the producers about everything, because, I had to fill out paperwork since I was the first Canadian winner to receive the money. So it took about a month or so to get it, but they're fairly quick, but it was just extra work for both of us to do. And I asked, am I going to be on the BT Cypher? And they said, yeah, we have a spot for you this year. So I waited patiently, and then, about June or so, I said, do I still have a spot on the Cypher? Can you let me know? So I have to make plans. I have to, fly myself out there probably. I don't know. I would have done it just for the exposure, because they agreed from the beginning they weren't helping me out with bus fare or hotels, and I said I could do that myself. So if I had to fly myself out to the Cypher, I would do it. And no response until about last week. They said, we've already pre-filmed the Cypher, and it was, really devastating to be ignored for that long and then not given an answer until it's too late. There's literally nothing we could do. All the artists have recorded. So it was just, if they really didn't plan on having me on the Cypher and let me know in advance, it would have been a lot easier to deal with than just kind of being ambushed. Like, oh yeah, it's already pre-filmed, you're not on it. It just kind of showed a level of respect where they didn't really care much for me at all in terms of, breaking the news to me before. It was kind of just right there, and I thought that was kind of disrespectful since all previous winners were on, and it was advertised in the finals that I was going to be on, and I was announcing it on various Canadian news stations, on Facebook, and it's embarrassing to have it stripped away from you, because now everyone's talking, oh, he's not good enough to be on the Cypher. And whether or not you were a fan of me or not, I earned the chance to prove you wrong by being with the legends on the Cypher, by being with the top names. I had the platform to turn people into fans and obtain connections, and it was unfortunately stripped away from me. It was email. News stations in Canada have aired the email. I forwarded to them, and it's been played on TV. The main reasoning was they've changed the format of the Cypher, and they scaled it to where they only have room for huge artists with a big buzz, and it kind of contradicted themselves because they have the Sprite contest winner on, who he averages 200, 400 views. He definitely has no buzz. And to be on the Cypher, all he did was record a verse in his car or wherever he was, upload to YouTube. I had, invested $3,000. I bust. I put my reputation and country's reputation on the line week after week, sleep deprived on the bus. I was, I was leaving at 8 p.m. on Thursdays and getting to New York at 9 in the morning. And then I was walking around Manhattan, coffee shops. Sometimes it's raining. I was going coffee shop to coffee shop, just getting the mode for freestyling off 1 hour, 2 hours sleep on a Greyhound, which isn't, the best ride. And sometimes I didn't have enough money. yeah, I didn't have enough money for hotels a lot of the nights. So as soon as I'd be, I'd do the battle about 1 o'clock in the studio. So I'd roam around Manhattan for, a few hours, do the battle, roam around New York, visited, some spots, did some sightseeing, then usually went back around 8 p.m. Some nights got a hotel when I was too exhausted to go back. So I did a lot of work, and this guy uploaded a mediocre verse with 200 views on the Sprite contest, and they let him on, but he doesn't have I'm not saying I have a huge buzz, but I have millions of views online. I've performed in various countries, and I did a lot more work than this guy to be on the Cypher, and I think it's completely unfair to have that reasoning when it just contradicts itself right there. Yeah, I do think so. Like in Canada, to obtain fame, like Drake, I think he's an amazing artist. He had to break out into the States. Canada, we only have a few people. Like there's Classified, who has a huge fan base in Canada and who's able to make a living off touring and everything, and he's a great example of work ethic and determination in Canada. But yeah, I think it's kind of just they have a young audience too, and it's kind of spreading a message that it's more about how you look and your image than actual skill and stuff. And I don't think hip hop is about how you look. It never was about your chains and your cars like it is these days. I'm a fan of Big L, Big Pun, all the underground guys that it was all about your lyrics. And I think on the Cypher, Slaughterhouse is amazing. I'm happy they have a lot of guys, John Connor, Wax, Ritz are good guys, but there's a lot of whack people on the Cypher. And being at BET, I was interacting with the audience, and I was trying to talk real hip hop to some, because these kids are being deprived of actual hip hop. I'm not saying I'm actual hip hop. I'm saying there are real, there is real hip hop that still exists, and they're being forced to watch stuff that isn't hip hop. Like I'll say right now, Chief Keef, Whack, Waka Flocka. I can't stand to listen to these guys yet. There's up and coming artists in Canada and stuff that are way better than them. Even American artists that don't get the recognition just because they don't have a certain image or sound that a lot of companies want to promote. So I think it's kind of just setting a negative example. I've never once used the term racism, because it's not, because I've seen a lot of people, and you posted the article like, oh, he's complaining because he's white, he doesn't have any struggles or anything. But I'm not. I've never once focused on race. It was more so of how I looked, my clothes that I was wearing and everything. So I just feel like it was not the right thing to take me off the Cypher. Yeah, I've been supporting Macklemore before he actually blew up. I've watched his videos on YouTube, and there's little views on it. I'm very happy to see his success because I'm a huge fan of him, and I appreciate his music. And BT has allowed people like Eminem, Yellow Wolf, Iggy Azalea from Australia on there. So there was never I was never focused on the white angle at all, because that's not the case. It's more so they have a previous history with white Canadian battle rappers that they've had a few dealings with. There was Organic, who won Spring Bling 2 years in a row, and he was promised a chance to compete on 106 in Park. He uploaded the contracts and stuff to Facebook as well. And if anyone doesn't know Organic, he's a huge part of the Canadian hip hop scene. He's the founder of King of the Dot, which actually puts on a lot of the best battles and includes a lot of the popular smack guys as well, and has provided a lot of people with free entertainment. And he was robbed of an opportunity to go on 106 in Park, and it devastated him so much. He felt so belittled. He said he almost quit rapping. So this almost prevented King of the Dot from even starting. Bishop Brigante, another white Canadian battle rapper, was disqualified for apparently swearing when Lil Wayne was a judge, and he was very vocal about saying, this guy didn't swear, that's not right. I didn't hear him swear, and he was disqualified off that. And then I win the competition fair and square, like every American has done since 2008, with Bow Wow clearly stating in the finals the winner will be on the 2013 Cypher. And now I'm removed off it, and there's a Canadian sense of pride that we're upset that we've been somewhat treated this way, whether or not it was intentionally or not. We feel like we're being left out. Like America has, shows like X Factor and American Idol that break careers. I have very talented friends that were in Canada's Got Talent, who are finalists on that, and it didn't it doesn't break our careers. We have to break out to America. So this was a huge opportunity for one of our artists to have a chance to appeal to that demographic, and it's very unfortunate because I was like, this is something I love doing more than anything in the world is rapping, and I know I would be lying if I told you I wasn't devastated and crushed that I work. If you bust that long, invested that much money, and you're not willing to at least fight for your cause, and you clearly don't have the work ethic and attitude to achieve success in this industry, if you let some like a big corporation walk all over you. I've never said one negative word about BT or anything. I just really want an explanation. I want to, like, I'm not here to sue anyone or throw out any crazy allegations like that. I just want I wanted to be on the next year's Cypher as well, but all that really is achieving my prize 1 year later and waiting an extra year for the attention that I worked so hard to achieve. What I really, really want, what I think would be adequate compensation for everything, all the Canadians that dealt with, white Canadian battle rappers that dealt with BT. I would like to see a Canadian, all Canadian, not Cypher, an all Canadian Cypher slot, like how Slaughterhouse has their one Cypher. I'd like to see some of the top Canadian artists, because we have people like, Snack the Ripper, Mad Child, Classified, Swisher T, a lot of people from King of the Dot, Bender, Holohan, Organic, who would do great in the Cypher format, because let's face it, it's not about your melodies or your courses right there. They say, battle rappers can't make music. This is just a beat and you're spitting bars. And if you could ride a beat, if battle rappers could ride a beat, we have some of the top lyricism in hip hop today. So I don't, like, to be honest, if they offered me a spot on next year's Cypher by myself without bringing Canada with me, I would actually turn it down, because I just want to help out my country and my scene. King of the Dot has done so much for me, and Organic was devastated by being shut down by BT, and now I feel like I'm in a position where maybe I could rectify the situation for how he was treated. And I think a lot of Americans would like what Canada has to offer, and I think it would be a good look for everyone. People could see, different countries, a Canadian version, and all the Americans. And I think, honestly, if your Cypher slot isn't named Slaughterhouse, you're going to get outbarred by the Canadian scene.
That's Drake rapping. When he raps, he's one of the best, dog. Like, he says shit I've never heard before.
You don't. Like, I can't go in somebody else's house, and even though they let me wear their clothes and eat their food, that's not my house.